So this is a sort of part two to the video that I released the last time in regards to gear and what I'm planning to do this year in regards to photography and where my mind is with shooting different formats. So in the video I showed off my 35mm, my medium format and my large format collection of cameras. Admittedly, I have said that the Bronica I am going to sell. I love the Hasselblad, I love the N1, I love the Leica M7. Pretty much everything else other than those three cameras I'm actually going to sell. So I've had a big long think about what I enjoy shooting, how I enjoy shooting, and what I want to sort of shoot more in the future. And I'm not going to say that I've fallen out of love with film photography, but my God, is it like proper, what's the word? Time consuming. It's very time consuming. I love the look, I love the process, but when you want to create consistently, I'm going to say, and I know that some people do film photography and they can post an image every single day, but when it comes to me doing it, I really struggle to actually get motivated to go and develop and to go and scan and to go and post-process and then to actually get with a final image and then post it afterwards. I know that quantity versus quality, I'd rather have more quality work than quantity work, but I think at the same time I need to be shooting more just to keep pushing myself forwards, if you know what I mean. If you're not practicing, you're not getting any better, essentially. If you're taking images but you're not reviewing them afterwards, then how are you going to learn from the process other than, oh, it was a bit cold that day, I don't think I'll go out in the cold and shoot again because bloody hurt my fingers, right? It doesn't work that way, at least in my opinion. So yeah, I'm going to be selling the Minolta, the FM2 that I completely forgot about. It's got some shutter issues, I'm fixing them up, I'll sell it afterwards. I might actually send it away to go and get service and then I'll go and sell it. But anyway, FM2, Minolta A7, the Rolly 35S, the R3 Mott I'm debating. Admittedly I only got it recently, but SLRs, my nose is too big, it gets pressed up against the back of an SLR, I can't really look through the viewfinder, so I might sell the body. I'll keep the lenses because the lenses are muy bueno. But yeah, I'm thinking of selling all of that along with the Bronica GS1. I'm actually thinking of doing something kind of sacrilegious, at least in the film photography world. I'm going to buy a digital camera.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Yeah. So I'm going to cut back on shooting 35mm, and I'm going to get a digital camera to replace it. I think this is going to benefit me because I'm going to be taking the camera more places with me because I can actually get an instant result back from what it is that I'm shooting. Also, I don't have to do any of the annoying post-processing bits apart from like the Lightroomy stuff, but that's fine, or Capture One, whatever your preference is. That's fine, that's pretty easy. It's just the scanning, the converting, and then the processing that kind of takes it out for me. So yeah, I'm going to be buying a digital camera, but what camera is it going to be? As I previously mentioned in my other video, I am a camera snob, and I like things to feel nice in the hand. Most mirrorless cameras, yeah, they feel nice, they feel good, but to me it just isn't quite right. Once again, it's that SLR style of camera. Viewfinder in the middle, nothing really at the side. It's just a little bit, I don't know, it's not perfect for me. I want a camera that's going to feel right in the hand. Over Christmas, I got the chance to shoot with this, which is a bit of a cult classic camera. As far as I'm aware, not many people actually know that it exists. It's a Sony RX1R. It's a full frame compact camera, and I mean, look at the size of that. Dinky. That's kind of what I'm looking for. The RX1R Mark II had a viewfinder on, which popped up at the side here, and you could shoot away, but they aren't being made anymore. So, and I mean, I could buy used, but they're pretty expensive used. So if I'm looking at buying something expensive anyway, but an older camera, I may as well look at either buying a brand new expensive camera or a used expensive camera that perhaps is a little bit newer and has similar sort of specs. So yeah, I did really enjoy using this, but the thing for me is that it is missing a viewfinder. The screen doesn't tilt, sadly. It does on the Mark II, but I found myself picking this up more than my film cameras over Christmas. The autofocus on this isn't the fastest thing in the world. Not that I really do use autofocus. I'm sort of classically trained on film cameras, so typically I do prefer to manual focus where possible, as is anyway. And the focus on this is focus by wire, but it's very early days mirrorless camera focus by wire, so it's not the most accurate thing. Something with a physical manual focus ring would be ideal, really. I have also had a little bit of a play around with something a bit like this. So this is a Sony A7C with a Canon 50mm 1.4 LTM converted to M mount adapted to it. And it's pretty close. I'm going to say it's probably like 75-80% of the way there, but it's still not quite right. I mean, whenever you do adapt a lens from one system to another, it doesn't always work the same way that you'd expect it to. So, say for example with this, it's just very, very metallic and awkward. The camera itself, with like a normal Sony E-mount lens on, perfectly fine, fantastic, lovely everyday walk around travel camera sort of thing, or even video creation or whatever you want to do. But when you adapt a lens onto it, say for example like this M mount LTM lens, whilst it does give me the manual focus and the manual aperture and the distance scale and this, that and the other, it doesn't feel right. I don't know, it's not front heavy nor is it back heavy, but it just doesn't balance right in the hand. And when you're trying to focus and do XYZ, it's fine, but it just doesn't quite fit the bill. What I do like, however, though, is that it does have a viewfinder on the side that you can look through, like so, and you can set up your custom buttons to punch in and acquire focus that way as well, which is really quite nice. Smile! There we are, love it. Ooh, yellow filter, fantastic. So yeah, that's another option that I have explored in regards to actually shooting with a digital camera with M-mount lenses. But I think there's only really one option for me, and it is the most expensive. I just want to preface by saying, in the last video I said that you don't have to buy the most expensive camera, which is true. I still stand by that. Some of the images that have come out of the A7C with these lenses adapted to it are absolutely fantastic and I love them. But it's not a complete package, and I feel personally that something that is this big, similar to the size or a little bit bigger than the RX1R, is going to be much more at home for me. And bearing in mind this is the M7, although I don't shoot that much 35mm anymore, it is still my most shot camera out of all the cameras that I own. I think that that's probably the best decision for me looking at cameras going forwards. Likes are expensive and secondhand, they're kind of affordable. They are still horrifically expensive, especially if you compare them to another camera brand, say a Canon, a Nikon, a Sony, a Fuji of the same time period. They've sort of dropped in price. So have the Leicas, but they're still kind of expensive. You're looking at about $2,000 for a Type 240 that's in relatively good condition. They have been around for a little while now, whereas the M10s and M10P and M10R, M10 monochrome sort of go between £3,500 to £5,500, depending on where you're looking. Obviously, I'd like to stay on the lesser side of that, but it really depends. Really, I think I need to wait for the ideal moment, as well as sort of weigh up what I want the camera to do. Do I want 24 megapixels, or do I want 40 megapixels? Do I want black and white only, or do I want the ability to shoot color? Color tops, silver chrome and black chrome doesn't really faze me, to be honest. I just want something that's going to be this small, compact, feels this sturdy in the hand, and is going to do the job that I want it to do. So yeah, that's going to be an evolving thing. Got to get rid of this stuff first, put them into the special pot fund, and then see what happens from there. Another goal that I've got with going to digital is going to be to actually try and get some more commercial work. A few years ago, I documented a recording of an album at Abbey Road Studios, and I really enjoyed it. I think I shot, 200 and something odd photos in there, and then whittled them down to about 60, and then put them into a book, which I really enjoyed the process of. The thought of doing that again with film, I mean, I was developing film for like 4 weeks, essentially on and off in the evening. And then I don't know how many weeks afterwards it was scanning and doing contact sheets and this, that and the other. The thought of doing all of that again in that workflow is a little bit stressful. So having something that I could do digitally in a similar sort of vein, documentary event and sort of reportage is kind of what I'm interested in currently. Portraiture as well, hence the 5.4. That's what I want to do with that. But yeah, I just want something that's going to be much quicker to turn around work, to learn from, to try and get some money from as well. That would be the ultimate goal. Get a bit of money on the side and just shoot more and enjoy shooting photos more. So I'm not going to say it's the end of film photography with me. It's just another avenue that I think I need to explore to basically grow as a photographer. So yeah, hopefully next few months, next few years, I don't know, I will be able to say that I've got rid of a whole bunch of cameras, and I only have the AE1, which I'm keeping for sentimental reasons, the M7, the 500cm, and the Chamonix N1. And they will be my only film cameras in my collection, and as much commercial work as possible will be shot on a digital Leica. So yeah, there's a little update on my thoughts of 35mm. A little bit of a waffle, a little bit of a ramble, but hey, that's all good. I'll be interested to hear what you think of, I'm not going to say the state of film photography, because there's a load of better, I'm not going to say better qualified, I don't think anyone is qualified, but there's a load of debates talking about the cost of inflation on film prices, and it's nothing to do with that. It's just that I want to shoot more as a photographer. But yeah, it'd be interesting to hear your thoughts. Are you also thinking of maybe getting a digital camera to go alongside? Are you thinking, it is expensive, maybe I'll hop on the digicam trend that's going about at the minute? Yeah, it's interesting, but not really for me. And what's your opinion on the state of film photography in 2023? Is it something that you're just getting into and you want to push further into? And have you had similar thoughts of just not saying packing up, but keeping your larger format stuff, your medium format and your large format stuff, and replacing your 35mm stuff with a digital camera? It'll be interesting to hear. Thank you very much for watching. This has been a very rambly video, and I'll see you next time. Cheerio! Bye! Off. I've forgotten what I said.